Well, good morning and welcome to another week on my allotment. I'm puffing a bit, that was a bit of a challenge. Anyway, it's very exciting this morning. Since I last made a video, I've had an opportunity come my way, courtesy of Steve and Nikki, who are a couple of plots down. You haven't met them yet, but I'll endeavour to correct that. And really their daughter Laura. Their daughter Laura came across a shed being used for some sort of exhibition in a design company, and they were getting rid of it, they didn't want it, and she said, well, you know, let me have a look and see if I can find something. Anyway, long story short, Steve very graciously said, would I like it? Because he knew I was after a second shed for the second plot, and I ripped his arm off. Yes, definitely I'll have it. So the only penalty was that we had to go up to Birmingham, a couple of hours drive away, and collect it. And it was a very, very busy place, and there was difficulty parking. But, you know, in this world of cynicism, and I'm a cynic, cynicism and bad news, when we got there, the young man who I believe ran the company, he took his car out of his car park space right outside this door. There was a yellow door, that was what Steve was looking for. And, you know, the company was upstairs. He moved his car out, and I put my car in his place because there was no parking around. I don't know where he put his car. And luckily it had all been put together with screws, so it came apart very easily. He said, have I paid for my parking? I said, oh, I wasn't aware I had to. He said, don't worry, I'll do it on my mobile phone. When I offered to pay for it, he said, don't worry, it's only a couple of quid. So he moved out of his car park space, he paid for my parking, he gave me a free shed. And then he said, would you like a brew? And while we were tying the shed on the roof of the van, he made us a couple of brews. Just wonderful. Very easy to be cynical in this world, but there are good people. So Laura spotted the opportunity. Steve and Nikki offered me the shed. They could have had it themselves. They gave it to me free, the company. He did all that for me when we picked it up. Steve came up with me to show me where the place was, helped me do all the dismantling and loading and so on, and came back. He lost an afternoon for himself. So big thank you to everyone there, from Laura to the chap whose name I don't know, who gave me the shed, to Steve and Nikki for giving it to me. And I saw John, who you have met, and Terry, who you've seen on the video, yesterday morning before we went to collect it, and I said, oh, I need a bit of wood. I'm trying to do it at nil cost. I need a bit of timber and a few more paving slabs to make the base. I've turned up here this morning and there is timber and paving slabs sat on the grass. People are just good. I mean, we hear all about the bad people on the news because for some reason people like to hear about it. I prefer to hear about the good news. And that's all good news and good people. So I thank you to everybody through that chain. And I've turned up here this morning and it's made my morning. The weather is foul. It's August. August is really just a warm February where we live. So the wind is foul, and I had a bit of trouble locating them. I thought I was going to be off across the hedgerows, but they're down. They're now under the wood. The shed is now under cover because today it is going to rain hard and I'm going to get seriously wet. But today is about dismantling my bench shelter, moving a couple of raspberries and a blackberry, and preparing a base and getting that level. Now, whether I achieve all that today, I don't know, but this is meant to be a weekend away in a caravan. But we've got our youngest son coming to stay with us, so that's not going to happen. And so I'm taking the opportunity. I've been given the green light by the boss indoors, and I'm up here all weekend, hopefully. And today's the bad weather day, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday look quite fair. So we shall see. We'll either, oh, that's the ladder blown over. So yeah, looking forward to it. I could do with a dry day, but it's dry right now. It's 12 minutes past 6. I would get up here earlier, but it's getting dark, or it's getting lighter later, if you know what I mean. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to do a few video clips. Whether they'll all fit in one video, well, I don't suppose they will, but so it might be a two-part affair, this. I haven't given it a name. I should come up with a name. Operation whatever. The plan is I'm going to keep this rickety old lean-to shed I've got here as the main allotment tools shed, and this shed, which is 8 foot by 6 foot, for those with new money, it's 2 meters by 2.5, which doesn't quite equate, but it's that roughly size. And I'm going to make that my leisure shed, my man cave. And I'm going to bring my Frontier stove, I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to make that a little bolt hole out of the weather. So I shall use this shed for my tools and the sort of work area, and then this shed I'm going to put up now on the other plot, so that each plot has a shed, will be where I go with my cup of tea. And in the winter it'll be an absolute treat because it'll be nice and warm and snug in there. I expect to create a few more friends on the site when that's up and running. We shall see. So, really excited. Lots of hard work to do. It's not just a case of putting up a shed. I've got to take a lot of stuff down and move a lot of stuff. And then the shelter that goes around the bench, I think I'm going to just completely dismantle that and then maybe rebuild it as a screen neck between the two sheds. I really don't know. I'm making it up as I go along. Been doing that for 56 years now. It hasn't done me any harm. So enjoy the journey. But first, you know folks, a cup of tea. So here's the scale of the job. That's the shed on that plot. And ideally there needs to be a shed here. So I've got to dismantle that shelter and remove those two plants. The posts are in about 2 feet, so I've got to dig them out. And dismantle it all, pile it all up, and then where that is sat, I've got to put a basin made from paving slabs of various descriptions and widths and dimensions. And I guess I'm going to back it up close to these coal frames, not right up to them because I've got to paint the shed when I've done that, and then I think I'll probably move the coal frames to back on to the shed. I think that'll look quite nice. So that's the plan. And ideally by the end of the day I'll have the base done, but if the rain really is too bad, I mean I don't mind a bit of rain, I work in it all day long, but we'll see. You know, I've not set myself any targets. I'm just going to enjoy being up here and we'll see what the day brings. Looking forward to it. Right, that cup of tea's made, let's go and consume it. Well, it isn't going to win any construction awards, but with what materials I've got for free, thanks to all the other plotters, that's as good as I'm going to get. The wind and the rain have arrived, and I've got a bit of tinkering to do. Got that blackberry and the raspberry to put in. That really is picking up. So yeah, a little bit of tidying up to do, but the main job is done. And tomorrow, I've got a couple of hours work left here now, but tomorrow I'm going to start putting the shed up. back lip on those blocks. Okay? You have to shuffle it. We will. Hands on. Lip up. Okay. So now we've just got to.
This one needs to go that way.
Well, we've been here all day, a long day. Daniel's been manning the paintbrush, but the job is done. A little bit of titivating perhaps, but happy with the job?
Very.
That's as excited as he gets, really. Yeah, a job well done. And I'm rather proud of our little porch. Don't suppose you can see it that well because the sun is at the wrong angle, but got a little bit of a covered porch and some rather attractive stones or steps outside. So yeah, all day it's taken us. I did the base yesterday. I got called off by the rain, and then Daniel's come up today and helped me put the shed up, paint it, and add a few little additions. So we're off home for a well-earned evening meal. Well, it's day 3 of the shed build, and it's Sunday morning. I've left my wife and my son sleeping in the house, and yeah, I've got another day on the allotment. Never done this before. I said at the beginning of the video that we normally go away in the caravan, but we haven't this weekend because our son's come to stay. So we've had a weekend at home, and you know, they've got things they want to get on with and they don't include me. So that's super, that's perfect. It gives me that time to carry on with this and get the shed sorted. So as you saw previously, the shed is now up and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, when you think of some of the lives people lead, dealing with really big deals and big things and exciting projects worldwide, international, I'm happy with my shed. I think that's the secret of a happy life, is to be easily pleased. Those people who are not easily pleased and are constantly searching for happiness will be tormented their whole lives. It's not happening to me because a little 8x6 shed has just made my life complete. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it went yesterday. Daniel was invaluable and just stuck to the painting and helped me where I needed help on the roof, where you need 2 pairs of hands. So it was really good. I cannot believe, looking back at the little video clips that have come before this, that 2 days ago there was just a little shelter for the bench here, and it's up, it's painted. I think I'll give it another coat today if the weather stays dry, but really what's left, essentially, the shed is up, but I've left mess scattered all around it. So Daniel had a quick tidy up before we left yesterday, and I'm going to complete that today. And then I've got to, you know, I was wondering about my bench, the big wooden bench that I made, and I got here this morning, I thought, why don't I just put it in the shed? So that's what I've done. Behind the camera there's the 6 or 7 foot long bench. I've put 2 cushions on it, and it looks okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to stay there, but for the time being I can now go and sit in my shed, and I think it will rain today. It's going to be on and off, and if it rains I'll be absolutely over the moon. It means I can go and sit in the shed. So I've got a few bits of titivating to do today and a bit of sorting out, and all these little offcuts of wood that are lying around everywhere, I'm going to collect them all up and they'll go in the shed. ready for the wood burner. So yeah, unless they're pressure treated or something, and I don't think much of it is. But yeah, a tidying up day, and then I really do need to just refocus on why I'm here, i.e. the vegetables. And I've brought a little bit of homemade compost from the garden, where I just make so much of it I can't use it all, which is really nice. And it's going on a couple of the empty beds here, and I'm just going to top dress. No more digging. I'm just going to. I am convinced by Charles Dowding. Charles Dowding is a highly intelligent, very experienced commercial grower, and he's no dig, organic. And I'm not. It's not that digging is hard work. There's no way around it, and that's why lots of people don't succeed in allotments, is because the ground's got to be sorted, it's got to be dug, and it's got to be prepared. And people just don't like hard work anymore, or some people don't like hard work. But I'm not looking for hard work. No dig. One of the benefits is that you're not digging heavy soil. But if that was the only benefit, it wouldn't convince me, because I have absolutely no problem with hard work. What convinces me is the trials Charles Dowding has run that clearly show not only is no dig as good as the digging method, it's often, in fact almost in all cases, more productive. And that's the bit that convinces me. So yeah, I'm just going to top dress it, and it's got the autumn and the winter to sort of leach into the ground and let the worms do their business. So I'm going to do that today, and a bit more picking. The grass is growing madly, so that needs to be cut today. So yeah, lots to do, and I really don't mind how much of it I get done. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to sit in my shed with lots of brews, not all at once, and yeah, enjoy the day. So when I've sorted a few things out, I'll show you around in more detail. Well, it's happened. I've given a few things another coat of paint. I've put steadies to hold the doors open so they don't, slap to and fro. I've been busy for an hour, maybe a bit more, and the rain's come in. So I'm really not bothered. I've got my cup of tea, I've got my settee. I don't think that word's really appropriate, but yeah, I'm very comfortable sitting in my shed and daydreaming about, am I going to put any tables in here? Am I going to put a shelf in here? Yeah, don't know. Don't really care at the moment. I've got the main things. I've got shelter. I've got a soft, comfortable chair, and I got the best drink of the day. And the rain can carry. I've got a book in the van, so I really don't mind. It's not going to last all day. I know the weather's going to brighten up this afternoon, so for the time being, I'm happy in my allotment man cave. Cheers. So, I haven't put a massive amount of effort in, but it already feels very cosy, and I really don't want to do any more because I want the space. So the bench that I made from offcuts of wood I've brought inside, and with those cushions it's very comfortable. I've made a makeshift table, and it's occurred to me sat here that I could put doors on that and a side and a few more shelves, and then that would take a bit more stuff. I've got my wood drying there. That's old bean sticks that I'm going to use as material to burn in the stove, and then with a shelf all my tea, coffee and brew kit is stacked neatly, and I can sit on the bench and look down my allotment. Yes, there's my view. It's ridiculous how happy a wooden shed can make a fella feel. But actually today's the perfect day because there's lots of sunshine and then all of a sudden a big black cloud comes over and it drops on me, and I come in here, have a brew, and couldn't care less. Fantastic. Well, the shed's pretty much done now. I'm in my brew kit, the bench. I don't want to put too much in there. The stove will go in another day, and I've got to cut the hole in the roof and put the flashing around it, but that's, like I say, for another day. So the shed is done, and it's back to the allotment. I'm going to dig out all my potatoes. So thank you for watching. Thank you to those that have subscribed. I really appreciate that. That number is steadily trickling up. And please hit the like button if you can. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.